Back Row Ministry, the world premiere, Mr. Mahdi coming at you live and direct. If you've been on my page, there's a tab for Join the Hip Hop Movement that will take you to my Reverb Nation page where my music is. Got 4 albums on there. My albums are very short. I don't do 10-song albums. I think I have one album that might be like 8 or 9 songs, but 6-song albums, mostly EPs. 4 albums. Getting ready for album number 5, I believe. Is album number 5? I think album number 6. One album I'm still trying to find so I can rehash tags back in my ignorant Negro days when I was, on drugs and drunk all the time, and you can hear it in the music. One day I'm gonna find an album and play that album for people, but it's one of those types of albums. So today I want to talk about a couple of topics. We start off, of course, with regurgitation bulls as we get closer to the national championship, and this whole thing of them, of course, bringing back Alabama to the national championship. Been trying to figure out the riddle and puzzle for college football. College football is one of those hard things, and I'm thinking it has to be. It's designed that way for several reasons, and those reasons are specifically because you don't want to make college football look like it's rigged. You don't want to because you got all these allegations against players doing this. Shaving points was a big one back in the 80s. Now the booster P's. So a lot of intricate parts go into the not trying to allow college football to look rigged. You don't really want it to look rigged. So they do it a different way, and it's really just a money thing. And now, Alabama just automatically has to be in the college football championship game if you want to bring the revenue, or Ohio State. It has to be a big team. Like we say, every year we see them feed Michigan to Ohio State. Georgia possibly could beat Alabama, but I don't think so. I think they want undefeated teams they want this undefeated team scenario. And you can watch for UCF possibly to be thrown this scenario. Remember last year UCF beat Auburn, who had beat Alabama. So look for some funniness to go down at the end of this Bull Championship kind of selection piece, which is coming up real quick. Next Saturday, it's kind of be one of those weekends. If Alabama does get beat, that's just to throw the Ohio State piece in there again, and probably Ohio State could trump them, but I don't see it. I see Clemson, Alabama, and I'm looking at Clemson and Dabo Swinney to get their second title, kind of stopping the momentum of Saban. They don't want Saban to get that final title. They want Swinney kind of to become the man now. So I'm looking for that to happen. But getting back to other regurgitated news, we're looking for Tom Brady to be at the Super Bowl. We're looking for them to feed various teams to Tom. Maybe we'll have a Pittsburgh, New England championship game, which would be good. I like to see Pittsburgh versus New England. I like to see Pittsburgh versus the Saints. I mean, that's something that hasn't been seen before, but of course we're not going to get that. We're going to get Tom Brady Regurgitation Fest, and possibly Tom Brady plays Drew Brees. The numbers are looking good for that matchup. So that's a matchup that I'm throwing out there. There's rumored of the Bears possibly getting deep into the playoffs. There was the Tom Brady sees the Bears in the woods sighting. So don't put it past them to regurgitate the Patriots versus the Bears, and Tom Brady gets his revenge against the Bears. A lot of regurgitated situations, but mostly everything surrounding Tom Terrific when it comes to the Super Bowl. So one thing let's look for is Tom Terrific being in the Super Bowl, and finally we get this Tom Terrific saga gone, and we can be done with Tom Terrific. In the regular news, we see a lot of the last days of Trump. The headlines are really, really heating up. We had I forgot my man's name, but all of a sudden he's reneging on testimonies, and he's broke the plea agreement. Manafort broke the plea agreement. So all this is kind of moving us closer to the crescendo of the Trump presidency, which this has been building up for a long period of time. We knew we were getting closer to the crescendo, as we say in music, and here we are, the last days of Trump, and possibly the start of the ending, as we like to say, for the Trump presidency. So that's something we've been looking at. So watch for a whole lot of stuff to come out of this Manafort piece, all scripted and staged. Like I say, 2019 is going to be one of the volatile years. I don't think Trump's going to make it through the whole 2019 because we have to set up the woman president, and a lot of people are now jumping up as this possible woman president. But like I say, Nikki Haley has went missing. That was the person I had at the forefront for a long period of time, and suddenly Nikki Haley is nowhere to be seen. She's nowhere to be seen. There's no Nikki Haley sightings, and that's called for concern of, okay, where's Nikki Haley? What's going on? Why haven't we seen Nikki Haley? So be looking for Nikki Haley to mysteriously appear again somewhere inside of this. I mean, that's who I'm throwing out as the person they groomed for this position. Something happened, she said something, but a lot of crazy stuff right now. Then we got Trump saying that, using something that happened back in the day and using Obama to do this. Remember now, it was Obama who got up with it was Obama and I forgot who McCain at the time. Obama and McCain were at the forefront at the end of the Bush presidency for pushing all these payments to the banks and the car companies. And now all of a sudden you have GMC shutting down car companies, shutting down plants. Trump gets up in there like he's going to save the American worker, like he cares about jobs being in China when he's got companies still outsourced there. Of course, he's not going to tell you that. But you're talking about GMC's not closing down their plants in China, and they're closing down plants here, and yada, 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 and all the script. Right now, the whole push for removing certain things. So they got a $200,000 average for people getting a rebate tax time if you buy an electric car. They want that removed. Car companies want that removed. They want people to always get that. They don't want it to be after you sell $200,000 worth. They want people to always get that. So they want that removed. But right now, Chevy, hasn't made vehicles that have been worth anything for years. So, they got into the electric car game, but, the electric car isn't selling the way they wanted to. They also get into the automated car game. So be looking for them soon to get you out of these gas vehicles. They got a plan to get us out of gas vehicles. Maybe it's a war, as the Saudis situation is heating up. We're headed towards a war with that, and we're getting closer to the end of gas. And a lot of people are like, man, oil, and everything ends. Everything has a beginning and an end, Alpha and Omega. So be looking for us to get to the point of the end of gas. The end of gas is coming. And, by the time my daughter is in her 20s and 30s, she won't even remember putting gasoline in a car. She won't even know what gasoline is. She'll remember we went to the gas station, but that would be about the memories of that. So, all that's getting ready to change. And people have to get ready for these changes. A lot of times, as human beings, we don't want to prepare for change. We think that things stay the same forever when we know that's not true. And then when they do change, we just surprised. Like Sears Robot closing down. Sears couldn't be open forever. I mean, sooner or later, its end had to come. Walmart's going to have its end. Amazon's going to have its end. All this stuff is going to have its end. These cell phones they're going to have their end soon. We'll be on to a new and better technology. And now with vehicles, we're slowly moving on to new and better technologies. We got these cars now. So in a minute, you ain't going to need a jump start for a car. This car is going to know how to reproduce cranking amps on its own. So we have to, slowly but surely begin coming into the new technology. So Trump with this fake, he cares about the American worker, spiel is a bunch of hogwash, because he still got businesses in China. And like I say, he's not going to tell you that part. He'll tell you what he wants you to hear. So a lot going on in the world, from regurgitation bulls to Trump talking bullshit. But let's just watch how the script goes as we move into 2019. As I say, just put your back against the wall. Click my Join the Hip Hop Movement logo on my web page. You take it to Reverb Nation. My Spotify page is there for my Positive C shirt line. A lot of good shirts on there with a lot of good slogans and saying. And also we have the Boys Are Born Male shirt that is on the website now. And we're going to be mixing that shirt up in different colors and different styles. It's the Mahdi Back Row Ministry. Peace.